Hi guys, Fudi here. I just wanted to clear up some confusion that there might have been over the clocks and the confidence monitor displays. Now, I'm currently sitting in front of um, a CG1. Actually, it's the Fred CG1, but this would be true no matter which CG you're on if that CG is sending clocks. Currently, Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, and Culpeper are all running off of one Mac. We are currently working on a plan to roll this out for all locations, but just wanted to give you guys just to let you guys know that was happening. But this is also the true. The process I'm going to show you is the same thing if you're on CG2. There's just some of these background motion screens and stuff will be different. So having said that, there's been a little bit of confusion lately on clocks and confidence monitors, and I kind of just want to take a few minutes to go through what it is and just be thank you for being flexible as we are adjusting service flows, as we are adjusting how what we need timers for as things have come up. We'll be making adjustments, but I want to give you the current plan and just how everything looks. So first, let's bring up our clocks. There's a couple ways you can get to clocks. Some of you will have a shortcut button right here. Some of you can go to press Control and C on your keyboard, and that brings up the clocks, or you can also go to View Clocks and Timers. I'm going to reset all because apparently we have some running. Now there's a few extra clocks in this build because this gets used for events a lot. I'm going to walk you through what clocks you actually need for a Sunday. So the first clock you need is the worship flow. This clock starts at the start of service and it ends at the end of the worship flow, so basically right before they go into song 3. At that moment, between the transition between songs 2 and 3, there's a worship flow, and it's usually scheduled for 1 minute, but there's no click necessarily that's set to it, so this is a way for us to stay on time there. After that, we have the welcome clock. The welcome clock is set to 3 minutes. Followed by that, we have the full service clock, which is 1 hour and 5. That's our current goal, to wrap a service in 65 minutes. We have the message clock. That's 35 minutes. Now, the meet and greet clock is something that you really only need if you are a full local service or you're the broadcast campus, and it's the clock that lets us fire the meet and greet timer. Now, I did a separate tutorial on that. I'm not going to go over it here. But just know it's something that you would definitely need on your CG1, but not necessarily on your CG2 if you are running a local service. If you have any questions on that, you can ask me later. We have a ministry flow clock, and this is specifically, if you look on your cue sheet, what we used to call welcome is now called local ministry time, and that's what this 3 minute is for. This ministry flow clock is if Pastor Daniel is doing a worship flow or a flow with the worship team, and that's just to give him a 5-minute timer so he knows how much time he has. Again, this is something that's more critical at broadcast where Pastor is, or if you have a local speaker and they want to do this, that would also be a reason to have this. For a normal Sunday, you probably won't need this clock, but I would recommend building it just so you have it in case. Followed by that, we have the gospel and close 5 minutes, and then the close only 3 minutes clock. What this is for is if the speaker on stage, if it's pastor, if it's a guest pastor, if it's Pastor Tammy, if they don't give the gospel, then your local host or your campus pastor will come up and do the gospel as part of their close. And if that's the case, they get 5 minutes. If pastor or whoever's speaking on stage for the message does the gospel, then they only get a 3-minute clock. That's why there are these 2 clocks. So that's it. You don't need anything past that. That's all stuff for events that we've done. So worship flow, welcome, also known as local ministry time now, the first full service clock, message, meet and greet, ministry flow, gospel and close only. Of these, the ones you will regularly use are worship flow, welcome, service, message, and then the 2 closes. All right, so that's the clocks you need on a given Sunday. Each clock has a different stage display layout, and you can get there in 2 ways. You can go to I can't remember. Okay, here it goes. You can go to the Configure Stage Display, which you can get to by using the Command key and the number 4, or you go to this window and you click on it, or you can go to ProPresenter, Preferences, Display, Configure Stage Display. Multiple ways to get to the same thing. And so these are, again, I'm just going to go over the stage displays that you need. If you need help in building stage displays, I've made previous tutorials, or if you need something specific, please feel free to reach out to me. But you've got your worship flow, and so the worship flow stage display fires the service clock, or has displayed the service clock and the worship flow clock. The welcome timer, which has a video countdown if there's a video. It's got the full service clock here, and then it's got the welcome clock, or the local ministry time clock. The message clock, which is for pastor, it's got live time, it's got the service time, and it's got his 35-minute timer. Worship flow, if pastor is going back into worship, it would have a 5-minute timer here, and then the full service timer here. And then just one for one timer each, one if there needs to be a local gospel, one if there doesn't need to be a local gospel, and the clocks adjust with that. And then everything else here just for events. So stage displays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have 6 stage displays and I think 7 clocks. In fact, let me count that just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 clocks. My apologies. So those are the clocks and stage displays you need. If you have any questions, please feel reach out to me. Same thing with the, I did a tutorial previously on how to create fire slides. So here I'll add a new one. Actually, let me go here. So here you can see where they've made some all set, ready to go. And then just know, like for the closing, they already have one built. Here's Campus Pastor Gospel and close 5 minutes. And then here's close only 3 minutes, pastor gave the gospel. Just trying to make them labeled clearly so that in the rush of a Sunday morning, it's easy to find what you need to find. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.